What's up, everybody? Mike here. Just wanted to check in. Having some random thoughts. It's kind of unfolding in my brain. So I just wanted to stop in and kind of share. I got some things going, and the ADHD brain, you just kind of have to get it out sometimes. So here I am, and here with you, my emotional or random thought sounding board. So I appreciate you being here. I was thinking about generational wealth. I'm probably, you've heard the term. It's like building equity in, say, like your home or investment portfolio or whatever. Building equity in some financial assets to leave to your kids so that they don't start off here, so that they can start off here instead. Does that make sense? That way, otherwise everybody's like starting at the same level at the beginning, and just you don't get as far that way. So it gives you an advantage if you can start further along. You don't want to start from the starting line. You want to start from 90 meters into that 100-meter dash if you can, right? Yeah. So we do a lot of different things to try and achieve this. We work a lot of hours. We work multiple jobs. We work overtime. We save money, hopefully. We invest in stocks or bonds or real estate, just something that's supposed to go up in value. If you were depending on a Beanie Baby collection, you may want to rethink that. Just, free advice. And we sacrifice, we do without as parents. We try and sacrifice where we have to so that our kids have more than we did and more than we do. And, the economy is not getting better. It's getting worse. If you're not familiar with entropy, definitely look it up because it seems to apply to the world economy as well. But, we do all these things to invest in our kids, to invest in their future, and that's called generational wealth. But I was thinking though that what if there's something better that we can leave them than money? And I was kind of thinking, I know we've talked about this before, like generational trauma, like things that your parents did or said or whatever when you were a kid that still, haunts you as an adult and can have impacts on, how you think, how you feel, what you do. I'm not saying you can, of course, blame everything on that stuff, but it definitely makes an impact. So what if that's what we're doing? In addition to trying to, of course, leave generational financial wealth, we're leaving a legacy of generational emotional wealth, or we should be anyway. Because, what are we leaving our kids? Are we leaving them, like, for instance, my parents were not the most, let's just say, they were not necessarily the most emotionally literate people. Let's just go with that. So, like with money, who teaches you how to handle money? Your parents. Were your parents wealthy? Mine weren't. So, were they able to teach me effective strategies to manage money and build wealth? Not really, no. So, that's where get my start from, and that's where I work from. And it's up to me, of course, to try and do better. But, we end up on the same emotional footing as well, because we start with what we learn from our parents, from those around us. We start from what we experience. And, for better or for worse, it's what we have to work with. It's, the base level, it's the foundation for all of our relationships as we grow up, for all of our relationships as we become adults. And, it can take a long time to unlearn that kind of knowledge. Let's call it that loosely. But, it can be difficult. And sometimes therapy helps with that. But, there are a lot of reasons why it's better. Wouldn't you rather start your children emotionally on second base than to make them run all the way from home to first? I'm not saying there's anything wrong with starting at the beginning, but that doesn't mean there's anything wrong with not either. I tell my oldest kid, hey, there's an easier way to do this, and it's okay to look for it. That's fine. In fact, I expect you to, and I appreciate the effort to try and work less hard. I really do. I mean, I'm lazy in my heart. It's not because I don't want to do things, I don't want to work, but I want to do my work as efficiently as possible. As little effort as possible for the most outcome. I like bang for my buck. I like a lot of outcome for what effort I put into something. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm an efficiency enthusiast. That's okay. So obviously I want the same for my kids. So you can think about it as investing in not just your own future when you're grappling with those honest statements and honest feelings that you have, and those communications that you put out with spouses, friends, neighbors, family members. Do you even know your neighbors? I don't. I probably should, but you know what? It's not 1954, so I don't. But, all of these relationships are impacted by those emotions, those emotional factors that you learned growing up. And, that's the head start you're giving your kids. That's the head start I'm giving my kids. So in the same way that I want to teach them how to use money wisely, I want to teach them how interest compounds. I want to teach them, how to work smart, not harder. And I want to teach them, hey, being honest with yourself is the most important thing you can do, because all of your relationships are going to be based on how you feel, how you acknowledge your feelings, and how you communicate them to other people. I've had a lot of bad relationships over the years. Not saying I blame anybody for that, but I definitely, let's just say I had a lot to learn, and I know better than everybody else. So it takes me a while to figure it out. And that's one of the reasons I do these videos. And I've got the My Mood Gear mission, the emotional support gear on the website, the videos here, the book, The Honesty Equation. That's why I do this, because I had to learn the hard way. So maybe if somebody gets something out of this, maybe it can help somebody. Maybe it can help you not have to do it as difficult as I did. Maybe it'll be a little easier for somebody out there. And that's really what it's all about. Because, again, as I've said, life's hard. We don't need to make it harder for ourselves. We just need to, we can make it easier. That is okay. We can do that. And that's fine. So yeah, the more you invest in your own emotional growth, your own emotional maturity over the years, that interest is gonna compound. If we're sticking with the financial analogy here, interest compounds. It doesn't get retirement sized overnight. Your investments don't. You don't invest one time and retire on that. You do it steadily over time, and a little bit here, and a little bit here, and a little bit here. And the interest compounds on that as time goes forward. And eventually, 30 years down the road or whatever, guess what? You've got a pretty sizable little nest egg there. And maybe your kids will have something left to start from when you're not here anymore. And the emotional responsibility, the emotional honesty is the same way. It's gonna take time. It's not it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. You know what I mean? So you're not trying to fix anything overnight. You're not trying to smack your kids into shape or anything like that. What you're trying to do is invest slowly over time, steadily, building a strong foundation for emotional maturity and making good emotional decisions and making good honesty choices. I mean, it's really just kind of all there is to it, I've definitely done things the hard way. And if we're sticking with the financial analogy, it's been very expensive for me to learn some of these lessons. Very emotionally expensive. And I've made it much harder on myself than I needed to. There's plenty of people I can point fingers at, but ultimately, that's on me. Because I definitely could have done something about it sooner. I definitely could have listened a little better to other people. And, it's not even about what anybody else did. It's just me being too stubborn to listen to other people, to listen to the universe, just to listen to even myself saying, hey, this isn't great. You could be doing better. Why, what's wrong? So healing can feel expensive if we're sticking with the analogy. You have to do the work. You have to sacrifice. Nobody likes to do it. But ultimately, I guess that's the best advice. The best strategy to have is just do the work. Have a plan. Focus on the goal. What's the goal? It's to improve all of my relationships. And in doing that and investing in my own personal relationships, you can't really go into it even with the goal of, I'm going to, pass all these ideas on to my kids and make their futures better. Start with you. It's okay to focus on you. My relationships can be improved now. But the point is that in doing so, that I can also be investing in that emotional future for my kids. That's going to be that generational emotional wealth, that inheritance that I'm going to leave. That's going to be my legacy to them, is they're going to have hopefully better relationships with me even as they grow up. That'll make my relationship with them better, hopefully too, just to start, let alone their relationships as they get older, as they go off into the world. Hopefully they, find somebody to fall in love with, settle down, whatever. Don't, pick up the toxic relationships here and there and, get drunk way too much and this and that and whatnot, and hook up with the crazy chicks and whatever, you name it, I've probably done it. So I don't want to go into those stories because they're not all PG. So yeah, it's not just something that we do for ourselves. It is the investment. Gosh. So it's not just something that we do ourselves. We invest in our emotional maturity. We do it for ourselves, yes, but not just for us. We do it for our kids. We do it for our future. We do it for their future. And hopefully, we can only hope that we will be building a legacy of emotional maturity and of open and honest communication and stronger relationships as a result. So we do what we can. We want to leave emotional wealth. We don't want to leave emotional debt. That's the baggage that you can saddle your kids with. You don't want to hand them an anchor and say, here you go, off into the world, drag this behind you. The big rock chained to your ankle. No, that's emotional debt. And you're just doing them a disservice. So life's going to be hard enough on them. Why do you want to make it harder? You don't have to. So don't. Make it easier on you. Make it easier on them. It's not even two different things, really. It's kind of all the same thing anyway. So, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Go ahead and leave me a comment. I love to read them and I try to respond to everybody. Like the video if you enjoyed it, if you want to hear more like it, see more like it. Sorry about my face. It's the only one I've got. Sorry I'm not better looking for you to look at me for this many minutes into a video. I apologize for that. Only so much you can do. So, but yeah, and if you like the content, if you like the idea, the concept of emotional honesty, subscribe to the channel, follow the channel, share it with your friends. Click the little bell so you get notified when I drop videos. I try and do it pretty regularly, so it's always something I have thought of or an idea I have that I like to pose. I welcome the conversations because, we're all in this together. And I'm not claiming I'm a guru of any kind. I'm not claiming I have any idea what I'm doing. I just overthink things and, I've had, like I said, a lot of experiences that I could have avoided. So I've picked up a few tips and tricks over the years, my own life hacks, if you will. And I like to share them here. So if you want to join in and throw in your nickel's worth of opinion, please bring it on. Drop it in. I got a Patreon, the Grounds Crew, some like-minded people who want to be open and honest, talk to each other, debate ideas. Maybe it's a little light philosophizing. Who knows? There's no paid tiers over there. It's all free. So if you just want to have some interesting discussions, we can all help each other move forward. Because let's face it, we're all in this together. So nobody to save us but ourselves. So I welcome the help. I'm here for you if you need the help. And, I offer love. We all love each other. And I hope to see you. So the link for the Patreon will be in the description. So hit us up there. Follow the channel. And, just think about what I said. Let me know what you think. And until next time, folks, just keep moving forward. And remember, if you fall, try to fall forward. Okay? Take it easy. I'll see you next time.